Hey guys, welcome back. Happy Monday. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone's week is shaping up to be good. I'm just seeing my video stream do something very weird here. Odd. I've never seen a window do that. Anyway, guys, I'm working through some tech difficulties here as usual, but nothing too major. Hopefully we should get off to a good start tonight. Hopefully YouTube hasn't changed too much this week, other than maybe the chat moderation would be nice, but hey, we're going to play it by ear and see how it goes. There's a couple of people, David, Glitch, a handful of others, you do have mod privileges, so feel free to use them. Guys, what's going on this week? What's everyone got on tap this week? Good stuff. Glitch is telling me the audio and the video is good. Appreciate that. Thank you. Good stuff. Let's see who we've got in the chat real quick. We've got Leroy. We had Gregor here. David Watts was here, but I'm not sure. He might have left. Glitch is here, obviously. Brandon Nunn. Hamrad88. Hey, Tom. And Zach Atkinson is here, too. Good stuff, guys. Glad to have you here tonight. Should be a fun podcast. Hopefully, we should be in good shape. Bad echo in here. Don't know about that, guys. There's no audio feeding through from my side, so it should be in good shape. Weird. Yeah, thanks, Glitch. Appreciate that. That helps out. Tom probably has a ghost window open. Good stuff, guys. Take a couple of seconds and get set up here. And with any luck, we should be in good shape tonight, guys. See, YouTube changed some things on the stream. Again, minor changes, but hopefully they keep working on things and get things all set up for us. So far, so good. The lag I noticed is significantly less tonight. I was already able to gauge it a little bit, so that's kind of cool. I like when their servers don't lag behind too far. David is still here. He was checking out the ocean floor stream. I didn't get a chance to check that out. I kind of wish I did, but maybe after the cast if it's still going. All right, guys, without further delay, let's see if we can get this fired up here. All right, we're in good shape. Good stuff, guys. As usual, viewer questions throughout. Just hit us up in the chat. Some tech news this week. Viewer challenge this week. Some 3D printing stuff, as always. A bunch of stuff from the community, hackers, makers, DIY, amateur radio, you name it, guys. Some stuff from the shop. An upcoming sneak peek. Tech tip of the week, which we didn't get to last week. We'll take some live viewer calls via Skype later on. As usual, guys, the link is below for the Electric Imp thermal printer, so if I miss your comments in the chat, please hit me up direct on that. It's right in front of my face. I can't miss it. Some tech news this week, guys. This video I saw last week is kind of a big deal. The X-47B video of it, autonomous aerial refueling. Guys, this is actually a pretty big technological accomplishment. Yeah, aircraft can fly autonomous, and our autopilots can do pretty good, but usually it takes a pretty light human touch to do aerial refueling, and they pulled it off. So pretty cool stuff. Wild what they're up to. Don't know where this is going to go, but I guess we'll find out. Guys, Kerbal Space Program 1.0 this week. Let me know in the chat, how many people here have played Kerbal Space Program? For those of you who haven't, it's a space simulation game. It's more of a simulation than a game, but pretty cool stuff. I played it a little bit last year, but I'm not a gamer and couldn't stick with it, but the thing just baffles me. I couldn't believe the accuracy and the amount of things we can learn about orbital mechanics from a game. It just blew me away. Let me know if you guys are getting it. I know Glitch is. And yeah, let me know if you are into this. Maybe I can get a few pointers off you guys. I'd love to pick it up and play with it, but it's a summer season. I probably won't have the time, but pretty big deal when this one came out. All right, quick catch up on the chat here, guys. And then we'll maybe see if we can get the chat box open here. Glitch said from what he understood, it was a dry run, no fuel transfer, just a check of the systems. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. They probably want to do a dry run first. But yeah, totally cool. Unbelievable. Really, really neat. All right, let's see. There we go. Got the chat up for later viewing pleasure, and surely the pleasure of our trolls if they show up. Glitch, he mentions the SpaceX Falcon 9 launch just happened. No landing attempt tonight. They need all the propellant to get the sat uphill. Very cool. That's interesting. I can't keep up to date with all the SpaceX launches. I really can't. Even with all the social avenues, there's just too much going on. I can't wait till they land that thing. Let's see. Just can't wait. Chris Anson is here. Hey, Chris. Mr. Ziegerman is here. Hey, buddy. Someone I know very well. Good to see you tonight. And Mr. Ziegerman said Kerbal, I remember. It's lots of fun. He's the guy who actually got me into it the first time, and I was hooked in an instant. He showed me the basics of it, and I was just blown away that I hadn't seen this before. And then, of course, I was hooked for several weeks. Very, very cool. Peter's here. Hey, Peter. Good to see you. All right, guys, let's go. Some stuff from 3D printing this week, guys. Video I thought I'd share. FYI, as usual, guys, the video links are all below on the main MakeMe.org website. All these are in one post for you to watch later. Engineering the ultimate robotic fish. These videos always interest me, guys. I love seeing this technology going back to pattern nature in new and exciting ways. And there's a lot of robot fish stuff going on out there. I've seen them for several years now, but the amount of success they're having is truly incredible. And I have no doubt it's quite likely because the ability to rapidly prototype things now, same day, same hour even, has taken away all the lag time. Dev time has gone so far down. You can think of something and whip it out within hours on site. It's really, really cool stuff. Just love it. Good stuff. Community support, guys. Pay the bills. As usual, best thing you can do for the channel here, if you choose to support, click that thumbs up button down below. Go ahead, click it right now. It really, really helps out these videos. If you're not already subscribed, please click that subscribe button. If you have the bandwidth, please consider going to my Patreon campaign down below, where you can contribute directly into the development of this channel, our community, and these videos. Really appreciate it, guys. And really quick, that's the wrong button. There we go. Don't want to take the chat off. Brandon asked, anyone see the second camera angle shot on the last barge angle? No, I only saw, well, I don't know whether it's the second camera or the first one, but it was the video that was all over the place. And robot fish stuff. Good stuff, guys. All right, let's go. Carrying on the viewer challenge this week, guys. Every week, I'd love to see what you're making. Hit me up on social, any of the social platforms, G+, Facebook, Instagram, Vine, Twitter. I'm on all of them, actually. I have Snapchat, too. I should add that in there. But send me what you're making each week, or what you're working on, or things you have that you're proud of. I'd love to see them. Last week, during the live cast, Leroy sent in, this is in our G+ community, also linked below, some pictures of his heaps of components on the shelves. This is just nerdy. This is nerd porn pictures of all the electronics, robotics, bits and bobs, all kinds of neat stuff. Love to see your workshop, guys. I actually would love to put this out as the challenge this week, a very specific one. Show me your workshops. I would love to see your electronics and your supplies, your bench. Where do you do your work? What's it look like? What do you like and dislike? Send me, just shoot some pictures in. Love to see it, guys. Nerd porn. Glitch shared with us his huge monitor setup. 6 monitors set up. Got some Matrix screensaver background stuff going on there. Really, really neat. He did it on a budget too. Pretty cool stuff. A little write-up on it. Thanks, Glitch, for sending that in. It's a pretty neat workstation. Beats the heck out of my 2 monitors. Love it. Pretty cool stuff. That was it for the viewer submissions this week, guys. If I missed anything, let me know. Jay is here. Hey, Jay. Good to see you. Leroy's wanting to build a submarine. And Steven Gibberton is here. Hey, Steven. Good to see you, buddy. And Jeff said on the SpaceX, you can see the directional rockets trying like hell to keep it upright. Very, very cool. Yeah, that was awesome. I can't say enough about the SpaceX missions. Not so much going on in space exploration and stuff outside of the private sector to truly get us inspired. And I have to say, SpaceX is doing a damn good job of getting us hooked and involved and interested. Elon takes it with such a cavalier attitude too. I can't remember the first one, rapid unscheduled deconstruction is what he immediately put out on Twitter. It was awesome. It's a good way to take it, especially when these things are autonomous and there's not human lives in the way. Like, so what if the thing gets bashed and explodes out in the ocean? It's one step towards doing it right. Very, very cool. Leroy said, I wonder if we could sell a magazine of nerd porn. I'm sure Dave at EV Blog could. Pretty sure he uses that phrase a lot. David said, workshop. I have boxes and a desk. Need to make myself a bench. Yeah, I have a very, very small workshop, guys. I'll maybe give you a tour of it sometime. Mr. Ziegerman that's in there has been in here. He's seen it. It's a very tiny space. That's why I can't get wide angle camera shots, because I literally have, I'd say, 24 inches between my workbench and the protuberances behind me. It's not very big, but hey, we make the best of it. Zach said, my picture is my bench. Not too much more the workshop other than my computer station. Cool stuff. Throw a picture in the G Plus anyway. I'd love to see it, guys. DJ said, I'm hoping to call you on Skype later tonight. Yes, DJ, I will open the Skype lines for some calls. No problem. All right, guys, let's go. A bit of an announcement this week, guys. We now have an IRC channel of our own for MakeMe.org. If you go to the MakeMe.org website, you will see on the right hand side there is a link directly for IRC chat, as well as in the top there is a separate tab for it. Within that, you will get taken to this page, and you can click in the link and break it out into a pop-up chat. Guys, this is just a free online web host that breaks out the separate web page, but it goes right to Glitch's served IRC server. For us, it's up 24/7. Really, really cool. For those of you into IRC or remember what that is or still use it today, pretty neat. I've been in and out of there, and guys, tonight I will make a point after the live broadcast. I will try and be in the IRC channel for some ongoing chat. If I miss your questions or don't get a chance to get back to you during the live show, well, hit me up there. It's free, guys. Totally cool. Pretty happy. Thanks, Glitch, for setting that up. Thank you, Stephen Kibberton, who's also in here, who helped us do some of the linking and the final touches. Very, very much appreciated. Guys, as always, it's a community effort, and I couldn't have done it by myself. No way, no how. And thanks to some other kind people, we got it done. We have a new toy. Pretty cool stuff, guys. And what do we got in the chat going on? And Mr. Ziegerman said your shop is still bigger than mine. Well, maybe not for long, buddy. You never know. And Howard Curtis. That's a new name I haven't seen before. I'm new. What exactly does the maker and electronics enthusiast community exactly do? I've seen Raspberry Pis being boasted about, but what would you use that for? Howard, you're going to get lots of answers in the chat. There's tons of makers and inventors here. Basically, you can use it for whatever the heck you want to use it for. Basically, in today's day and age, we can prototype and make just about anything and interface it and control it dirt cheap. It's amazing what can be built now, and you're going to get lots of good answers in the chat there. I know you will. There's some prolific makers in here. Very cool. Lewis is here. Hey, Lewis. And Adam is here. Laughing Logic Adam. Hey, buddy. Good stuff. Let's go. Got a full crowd tonight, guys. Good to see you all. Love it when we all get together. Guys, this is the community section. Anything goes here. I usually try and keep this to videos if you don't already notice. I like the video content and being able to share videos with you. It resonates well with all of us, being that we all are right here on YouTube. But it also shows newcomers exactly what we're talking about in some of these cases. And a lot of what I share is tutorials and just good content. Love it. Lots of nerdy stuff here, guys. First one, the post-apocalyptic inventor. I have shared his videos on this channel before. It's a channel that I am now hooked on. He doesn't put out a huge number of videos, but what he does put out, incredibly quality, and you'll see what he has to work with is he has some pretty cool stuff, but he does it bare bones so that basically anybody can recreate it. And what he started with this week was a power tool repair marathon. He took a whole bunch of high quality, mainly German power tools, and this is good stuff. All damaged, broken, bought it cheap, and repaired them. It's a long video. What is it? 23 minutes, and steps through all the common failure modes and how he fixed them up. Just super awesome. Good information. Good to see how things are broken and fixed. Love it. He actually put out a second video, and I'd like to share it here. He started a Patreon campaign, and it's, for those of you who don't know, Patreon is like Kickstarter for us content creators. I mentioned mine earlier. He started his for, he wanted to buy, I think it was a TIG welder. It might have been a MIG, but I think it was a TIG welder. And he went through this video showing the equipment that he makes these YouTube videos with, and I can resonate. He does it bare bones with the bare minimum of materials, and long story short, he put out a Patreon so that he can get himself a welder. Well, he did hit his target, his first goal. I think it was his only goal, almost right away, and he was definitely blown away by the support. I support him on Patreon now that I know he's on there. Definitely a patron of his now. I love his content, guys. I think you would too. Give him some support if you like his channel. Manly Man Skills, the Lineman Splice, AVE channel. Pretty cool stuff. Really basic, guys. How to do a lineman splice. How to splice two pieces of wire correctly. I can vouch for this. I've used this method all my career back since automotive working days. It works, and it's very strong and effective. If you're not familiar how to do a proper lineman splice, check out the video. I think you'll like it. I'm just going to quickly check out the chat here, guys. Glitch is getting some dropped frames. Yeah, it's not on this end. It could still be on the YouTube end. I have 0 dropped frames so far. And let's see what we got here, guys. Jeff said he has great vids. I like Great Scott and AVE as well. That's awesome. It's one good thing about this channel, guys. It's really, really easy to share content with you guys because we all have such similar interests. Odds are at least 50% of the videos that I share out will resonate with at least 50% of you. A general rule anyway. And Glitch said, not yet another channel I love. Sire John, I am a new user to MKme chat. Good stuff. And lag issue cleared up. And Anis Ben Arfi said, I enjoyed the latest RC flying video. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. There will be more. There's going to be a pile more RC videos this year. I'm going to spend a lot of time to try and get you some good RC content, guys. On that note, BMS Web, I don't think he's here tonight, or at least not yet. Awesome channel for anything RC and FPV for first-person view. Really, really cool video this week. I love to see this. It was a 5.8 gigahertz video transmitter setup with camera, $30. 200 milliwatt setup, really nice and small. Basically put it on any small foam board plane, small quadcopter, you name it. Really, really cool. Guys, $30 now. We can buy a 200 milliwatt downlink with camera. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. The price point is very reasonable for these hobbies now. And Glitch was giving me an update. Thanks, Glitch. David Watts, who is probably still with us if he's not busy in the other stream, he did an awesome video on the Arduino Zero Pro, complete review comparing it to the other model, as well as some of its function, a complete overview, really well done video. Guys, this is neat stuff. One day I will play with the Arduino Zero, I think. I like seeing that these boards are coming up in power now that we get people in using the basics, and then you give them these tools to do something a whole lot more powerful. Really, really cool stuff, guys. I think you'll like David's video. Make put out a video, Make Magazine, their YouTube channel, Raspberry Pi VPN/Tor router. Guys, if you want to have your own VPN or Tor router that uses a Pi, here you go. They step-by-step through it, do link to the code and the image and everything for the Pi. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool use for a Pi. For under $40 PC board, it's another use for the Pi. Love it. Just love seeing this stuff. I think I might give that a try. The Hacksmith, another channel I just love. He's local to me here in Ontario, actually. How not to take tools on an airplane. Guys, you got to check this video out. I think there's 2 newer ones since this, all in the last couple of days. He went to Harbor Freight in the States and went shopping, as we all would, but he really went shopping. He got himself a spot welder and bolt cutters and wire spools, ridiculous amount of stuff, trying to cram it into a carry-on piece of luggage. I honestly was laughing watching this. Guys, check it out. I think you'll love it. And I won't spoil the ending because there is a follow-up on how he made out getting this stuff through an airport. I wouldn't have wanted that bag over me in the airplane. That spot welder's got to weigh about 45 pounds. I'm going to catch up on the chat real quick, guys. Let's see what we got here. Let me see if I can scroll up just a little bit here. And David says thanks. Let's not get into the Arduino versus Arduino. Yeah, for sure. Don't even want to go there. And Glitch is getting a Pi. Cool stuff. Leroy said he's still on the fence on the Arduino Zero Pro. Like it, but don't like the price. What's the going price for those, guys? Throw it in the chat. I'm interested. I never even got a chance to look one up. I just looked up the specs on them. That's about it. And Glitch said he loves the Hacksmith, another channel I love. These videos were amusing. Yeah, they were pretty funny because I can see some of us doing that. I honestly wouldn't try and put a spot welder in my carry-on, but hey, I could see that someone else might. And Brandon said he accidentally took D-class rockets on a plane one time. How the heck did you get through security with it? Well, I guess if you didn't get swabbed, they'd never pick it up. But if you did get your hand swabbed or your bag swabbed, you'd be right hooped. Sire John said he met me on the W5KUB ham show. Good stuff. I was interested. That's good to know. Good to see you again. Guys, FYI, every Tuesday night, W5KUB.com does an amateur radio broadcast live. If you're interested in that sort of thing, check it out. And Glitch said, granted, we've got all this hacker on a plane stuff going, so they're a little skittish to say the least. Yeah. Jay said he saw it on the Arduino on Amazon for $48, and David said they're about $50. And Glitch said, give it a week. Clones will be up for 20 to 25. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Jeff said, just bought a few Arduinos. Erica bought 3 of each. Good job. Always, if Mr. Ziegerman is still here, I've conned him in person into doing exactly that. I don't know how many other people. You can't fail at the prices we pay, except if you want buying an Arduino Zero, I wouldn't buy 3 of them. Yike, that is expensive. That is really expensive, but it's a term really when you look at the power of what it's capable of. It really isn't that much money. We're becoming expectant of these low prices. I know I am, and I admit it. I'm horrible. You guys know me. I buy from eBay, carefully from eBay, but price is a factor for me. So yeah. And Jay said, I think I got the buffer bug. Can't help you, Jay. We have 0 dropped frames on this end. We are cruising. Actually, since I ditched my video card driver, I think we're getting far less of the stutters. I watched some of the replay of last week's video, and actually the quality was higher too. Less stutters as it buffered, which is just annoying in the video. I know that's in my PC, but definitely no drop frames whatsoever, which is really, really cool. And Glitch said, for the price of a single 0, you could buy 11 or 12 Pro Minis, even Nanos. Yeah, the last Nanos I bought was $3.20 Canadian dollars, so you can buy them even cheaper in US dollars. Quite a bit cheaper, actually, because the dollar isn't good here right now. Yeah, $3 or so, and you buy yourself a Nano, fully functional, but definitely can't do what the 0 can do, no question at all. If you needed the higher sample rate and the better analog digital converter and all that good stuff, which I do have a couple of projects, I'd be able to use the increased bandwidth and the better sampling without a doubt. Actually, on the RC project right behind me, for the failsafe for the Arduino setup, I wanted to do a failsafe, and what I have to do is repeat the servo, use the Nano to read the servo output from the receiver, and then act as a middleman and decide what to send pending another system being monitored. But the resolution on the Nano is not that great, and you don't have a whole lot of steps to work with, so you can't do smooth linear control on the output on the PWM. You just can't. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. And Leroy said single board quad core computers $35 to $37, 0 plus is $50. Yeah, I agree. And David said the hardware debugging on board is cool. Changed the way I looked at programming. Absolutely, it would. I was interested in that part myself. Real-time view of the call stack memory through the program. Yeah, I'd like to know more about that and just be exposed to it. It's right there. Very cool. And Sire John says WB0. Oh, you got a long call. Good stuff. DJ Ritter, any cheap PCB manufacturers? I only need 1 or 2. Yeah, Osh Park. That'd be your best bet. And actually, Steven's going to hook you up. Steven's been there. David Watts has been there too. He'll help you out with the best in their experience. I haven't even used any of them. I've only made my own boards, guys. Epic fail. I would like to try send something out and have Osh Park make it one of these days, though. Someday I will. Some stuff from the shop, guys. The FT VersaWing video went out this week. It was well received. I'm ready to maiden this thing. It's sitting in the basement waiting the FPV install, but for now it is balanced with some ballast weight in it and the GoPro mounted. So once the remaining, I'm just waiting on the camera for the FPV gear because I got rid of my spare that I had. And once that comes in, I have the transmitter, I have an on-screen display for it, and it should be a good setup. Looking forward to flying this thing. Should bring you some cool video, guys. Sneak peek upcoming, guys. This one I've been asked for numerous times over the last several weeks. In fact, some people were downright pushy about this. The DIY gas sensor that I've got this up on the Hackaday site as well as a Hackaday 2015 prize entry. I'm not going to be manufacturing this, guys. It's open source. The link's down below. Please consider sliding over there and give it one of the skulls. It's like a thumbs up. Really, really helps the project. Long story short, I did take the video for the hardware assembly and the code walkthrough of this weekend. I still have to edit it, but it turned out pretty cool. Just a quick look at my prototype, the actual hardware, how it's hooked up, and then a step through the code. I'm on version 5 mainline of the code, and version 5 itself had 5 minor releases, so I think I've taken the code as far as it's going to go. The limiting factor is the sensor on this thing. Any of you in the chat know of, or in the future, know of a high quality gas sensor? something similar to in the commercial 5-gas analyzer units, please let me know. It's very difficult. I couldn't even find sources for them. It's no wonder that we pay so much for 5-gas analyzers. But it really needs something better. This is good enough to get it out there. It does work, but what happens is the sensor, if it's flooded with, say, LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, it will falsely trigger on the smoke or the CO. It's just the way the sensor works. It can't discriminate what gas is what. It's just a heated element sensor. It does work as an indication, though, but I would like to do it better. I would like to find a good sensor, and the code would be easy to rework for me, near as I can figure, because most sensor setups with the Arduino, we can talk any communication protocol if it comes as an integrated solution. I just need the sensor. So please let me know, guys. I would love to hear from you. And anyway, this is going to go live hopefully this week, and it will also be posted on Hackaday. Who knows? Maybe I'll win something this year. There's a lot of really cool projects over there. I'm not really doing it to win anything. It's just good exposure and gets it out there to people, and who knows where they'll take it. Version 2.0 of it'll be along in a week. I've got a mailbag coming out for you guys. I finally did another mailbag video. I've had all these parts and pieces sitting around on the bench a long time. It was a long overdue mailbag. Lots of goodies came in. A lot of fun stuff. Should be I think you guys will like it. And that'll be coming forward this week, guys. Let's see what we got in the chat real quick. Glitch said there's some MQ gas sensors available. Yeah, the MQ series is no good for what I want. It does the job for my proto and for the project, but I need something a lot fancier. And hey Eric, I don't know if this means I am catching you live or not, but hopefully so. Yeah, if you can type in the chat, it's live. Good stuff. And DJ said he wants to start creating his own PCB, but he doesn't have a laser printer, and 2, don't have enough money. DJ, it doesn't cost much to make your own PCB. It's not hard to etch a PCB. I'm sure there's a bazillion videos out there. You don't need a laser printer. I cut my first PCBs masking tape. This was prior to even desktop printers, home printers. There was dot matrix printers back then, but we didn't have one. Traced the circuit out on masking tape and cut it out with an X-Acto knife and dumped it into the etchant with an old aquarium bubbler to move the etchant. Yep. And it worked. I was able to make mini boards that way. Really primitive stuff, but they worked. That and a drill after, and at that time it was a file to file the traces and stuff and do repairs, and now with a Dremel tool it takes moments. You can definitely build your own PCBs. Don't think you need fancy equipment. Steven said, at DJ, if you jump in the IRC, then we can help them more. Absolutely. Great use for the IRC after. Absolutely, guys. And Glitch is going to get into some setting them up. And David said solder mask is a real help with small packages. Yeah, absolutely. This stuff is so much better now. And good stuff. I think we're caught up. And Glitch said he was talking about a laser printer, not a laser cutter. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, makes sense. But again, you don't need it. Well, yeah, you don't need to do the mask. You can, yeah, it's much easier though. It's nicer if you have a laser printer to do a decent one. It's so much easier now. All right, guys. Oh, wrong button. Let's try this again. Some viewer questions this week, guys. What I'm going to do, I think, is I will crack open Skype now. And then I will have that going so people can call in, because the viewer question period doesn't take too long. And I can interrupt it because we can just pick it back up. It's not a problem. If we can get Skype to open up here, we'll be all set. And not not overlap there. That's not what we want. And let's see if we can translate. Switch that over to online, and we should be good, guys. Skype lines are open. You can call at will. No worries. Eric Kaufman is here. Hey, Eric, good to see you. And good stuff. I think we're good. Where's my other button? All right, we're back in business, guys. I think. So a question came into me. I get this one a pile, guys. There might be someone in the chat or viewing this later might find this of value. Rayhan sent in, I'm doing this project in my undergrad final year project / thesis. I know how hard you work to get this result. Can you give me the code for this? It would be very much helpful for us. Guys, the funny thing is I get this exact comment, question, message, email, honestly, at least 5 times a week. Almost everybody out there must be doing their final thesis on prosthetic arms and robotic arms. It's pretty funny, but long story short, the response on this one is for Rayhan and anyone in the future. I post all of my code on my website, usually in the forum or on a main website page. I can't think of any code that I've kept to myself yet. Someday there will be, I'm sure, maybe something commercial. But for now, even the Arduino gas sensor that probably had a potential commercial future, it's all on my website. You can download the code, no problem, and use it. It's free to use, mod it. I would love if you leave the original comments in, as I do for the people I get the code from. I never remove their attribution ever. That would be bad. But yeah, just throw some credit my way if it helps you out. Throw me an email or share the video or whatever with me so I can see that get used. And let's go bigger on this one. Luke says, hello, I'm new beginner. I'd like to see which would be the best. This is regard to quadcopters, guys. I'm looking for one that can fly out with a slight bit of wind and has camera, HD preferred but not needed. The two I'm currently looking at is the Hubsan H107D and the SYMA X5C unit. Those are my two I was looking at, but I would like to, but if you have any suggestions, I'm all ears. Price range about $200. Guys, this is a bit funny. I can vouch for the Hubsan because I have one. Awesome quad, but I can't recommend anything beyond that. Perhaps someone in the chat here can respond back to Luke. Let them know if they have some experience with some other makes, but that's the one I would stick with. I have nothing bad to say about it. It's a superstar of a unit. On that note, an update for you guys. Last week I asked you guys, what did you think of myself dealing with a distributor and getting a quadcopter for review. Small update, guys. I took all your advice to heart. And I had a few more emails with this particular distributor. They were trying to send me, I think it's a retail of about $80 quadcopter. And I was back and forth with them. And I basically, at the end of it, I said, I'm sorry, but I'll give the best I can do of a review, but I don't think it would benefit either of us. I gave them a link to last week's live broadcast where we talked about this. I said, look, I've agonized over this. I can't, if I can't stand behind purchasing it in the first place, I probably shouldn't be reviewing it. And that's just personal view. That was actually not shared by the people viewing in the last week. But at the end of it all, I declined. They came back and they pursued me further and basically said, we really admire the fact that you actually cared enough. They sent me a long email back, and we think that you could give an honest review. We'd like to work with you. I forget how they worded it, something like they appreciated the honesty anyway. So I said, okay, fine. Long as you know what to expect, send it. So it's on its way, guys. It's about an $80 unit, I think. Brushed motors on it, nothing fancy, but hey, maybe it is a beginner quad. We'll see. Might be neat. Who knows? Quick look at the chat here, guys. My chat has Anyone else's chat stopped? Or did everybody just go quiet? It's a little odd. No drop frames. We're still streaming. And good stuff. We're still moving. Brandon said that's awesome. Excellent. Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate that. We'll see where it goes. One last comment. Actually, it was on that exact topic. I forgot I included this. David, who's with us, gave me this advice after the cast. Go for the review. If it isn't something you would use, maybe it's something one of the community might be interested. Can it be made better with a few different parts and still keep the cost down? Is it worth someone buying for a learning experience? Maybe you could use it to highlight some of their other products. It may be more appropriate. This is what I ended up going with, guys, and the reason I ended up going with it. The reason I agreed is your input. I take your input extremely seriously. And, well, it's you guys, the viewers, that make the content what it is. If I produce stuff you don't want to see or don't believe in, or things I don't believe in, then there's just no point in doing it. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Really appreciate your input, guys. Good stuff. And Steven's here. We're listening. Good stuff. And David said, if anything, you will be providing a service. Thank you, David. Really appreciate it. And Team Stellarum is here. Sorry I'm late. Good stuff. YouTube Live 1000 is here and says, good deal, Eric. Guys, we are in good shape. What else we got? Let's go. Tech tip of the week time, guys. This one's a real small one, but something I do a lot, and I thought I'd share. Guys, you ever get cases with random stuff, or find cases like this? In this case, this is the MXL 990 case that my microphone came in, that we're using on this live cast. I never toss these out, and I'm a big fan of having modular cases for stuff, and you can pick these up. A lot of consumer stuff comes with a case that you're never... How often am I going to take this microphone on the road that I need this case? For me, never. It's not going to need it. So what I do is I repurpose them. Let's see if I can show you this without dumping it everywhere. Guys, this is my LiPo batteries for my RC. Down at the bottom down here is my big 5 amp hour packs, my 2200s, 1000s, and then a whole bunch on the other side. Sorry guys, I'm trying not to tip. And then all I do is take some foam and make inserts. Now it's not pretty, but hey, it works. Custom case for all my LiPo batteries. Now they don't get bashed around. It cost me nothing because I already had it. I repeat this process on just about everything. I really like having things in modular cases. It makes transport easier. It makes storage on the shelf easier. In this case, it's a lot safer for the LiPo batteries. They should be in a metal case, but heck, this is better than nothing. And actually, this fits inside my LiPo bag, and then I can seal the LiPo bag. Mind you, it's a lot of energy, but it goes for everything, guys. Repurpose your old cases. Don't throw them in the junk. When you see them in the junk, grab them out, because you never know what someday it might be just the right size for a project or tools and stuff like that. I do it a lot, guys. Thought I'd share that. And Team Stellarum's unable to launch. Keeps saying the balloon would blow into the ocean. Good stuff. Sorry, John said, Eric, have you seen the Lego gyro for $20 to $30 that might be used in a quadcopter? No, I haven't. And Leroy said, Eric, your tech tips are just what I am thinking about a day or so ago every time. We're sharing one brain over long distance. You're starting to scare me. Well, that's probably a good thing. It happens a lot with me, with you guys too, when I see pictures and projects and YouTube videos posted, really much so with other content providers. I see a video a lot of the time the same week that it was on my mind. Mind you, my brain's pretty scattered. I go all over the place. Squirrel. Anyway. Glitch said, then I just have 2 cases to take out to the field and fly rather than a bunch of wires and monitor and AV cables and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, absolutely. And Steven said, that's a simple design. It's normally the ones that work well. Good stuff. David asks, Eric, what is your charging station like? Is it shielded in a case of catastrophe? David, I just use a LiPo bag around my pack when I'm charging it, but it is placed on a full metal sheet on top of my workbench. Not too many combustibles close by. Is it good enough? No. Am I comfortable with it? Yeah. It's LiPos I'm leery around. I know the physics and I know the energy that's contained there, so I'm always a little leery, but I am completely anal when it comes to my batteries. I have almost literally never not balance charged them. I monitor them religiously. I even keep a diary on each one. I know which one. I have my own serial number system. The odds of failure, I think, for me are very low. And if they were mechanically damaged, I'd never charge them. I wouldn't take the chance in the house. So long story short, my charge station is nothing fancy. I have a really good charger though. It does a really good job. It's really meticulous. But like I say, I never ever charge without balancing either. So pretty picky about the life of my batteries. And Peter said he has a garage full of that stuff, might come in handy. English said you should see my e-bike battery I built. Please do share that next week or tonight, whenever. 48 18650 cells. Good stuff. Awesome stuff, guys. Skype lines are still open momentarily, but otherwise we are going to cut it here shortly, guys. What have we got for time? Yep, we're going to be done just on time, guys. David said, haha, Glitch is flying along at 26.4 mile an hour in a recycled battery bomb. That's cool. Glitch's battery bike is pretty neat. I love seeing technology recycled and repurposed, and all the batteries he's reclaimed and turned it into a useful bike. That's pretty awesome to me. I love it. And Leroy said, get out of my brain. I have numbers on all the Roomba batteries and know which one is good and how long they will run. Leroy, I think that's... Okay, I'll try and get out of your brain. But honestly, I think that's just the responsible thing to do with these batteries. We've got Jay calling in. Hey, Jay, how's it going?
Hey, Eric, how's it going, man?
It's going pretty good. Yourself?
Doing good. My dad's finally back on the road driving again now.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah, so he's out of the danger zone now.
Good stuff.
I wanted to, we're taking some new videos soon. The new clock we decided to build, we pretty much trashed it. We're not going to do it.
Okay.
We're actually designing an LED sign instead.
Very good.
The WS2812, so I'm going to have some pictures and videos on that this week coming up.
Good.
So I thought you guys might want to enjoy that, and then I definitely will post it to the community as well.
Please do, and then everyone can see it.
And I finally got my videos editing done, so I'm going to be posting them later on tonight too.
Very cool.
6 new videos.
Excellent. Good stuff.
So
go ahead and share them in the G Plus community.
Yeah,
that's what it's there for.
Thought a lot of it can come in useful. Most of it just like just basic stuff, you know. Just some reviews. Oh, I finally unboxed my CNC router.
Oh, very good.
So I'm going to be doing a review on that this Saturday.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I thought I wanted to share that as well. You were speaking about quadcopters. My neighbor just actually bought one and now is in very big trouble.
Okay.
He decides he wants to fly it down the street on our street here, and couple of cops took a look into it, and I think they took it from him. And it wasn't a cheap one either. This was like a $400-something quadcopter too.
Yeah, I debate their legal ability to do that, but
well, he got it back and all, but he has to pay a fine or something. I don't know. He flew it right above people's heads.
Yeah, that's
so,
just It's just bad form. At the end of the day, both the US and Canada are virtually identical rules, or not rules, but what we can
Guideline.
do for insurance. I don't even worry about the guidelines and the local bylaws because a lot of cities have local bylaws that have completely prevented them altogether now. But at the end of the day, if you're going to fly something, you should have insurance. And I carry insurance. And that insurance is both the same in US and Canada, that you cannot ever fly over people, period.
Yeah.
And you can only fly in areas that you have permission to do so. And it's pretty hard to get permission to fly on a public street. So at the end of the day, that right there tells me shouldn't have been doing it. Looks good on them for losing it. I wouldn't do it.
What was it?
Just foolish.
I forgot what big company flew a quadcopter over their facility or something, and somebody got a hold of it. And now they're suing. I forgot who was it. I read it somewhere in an article online. They flew it because they were taking still pictures, and the people I guess they didn't want to be their picture taken or something.
Well,
I forgot. I forgot
another...
which places that there was doing it. That was
that's another kind of rat's nest because, if I won't even get into it on this cast, but if you're in a public area, sorry to say, you can be photographed.
Yeah.
And that at the end of the day, the expectation is that it can happen. And then you got the whole other rules of, well, where these people are flying them, do they have permission? And if it's on private property, like photographing a building or something, and they are the building owners or you have permission from, there's nothing wrong with it. So it's just a fight.
Well, look at it this way. I used to install security camera systems before, okay? You're on camera, if you're in the US, you're on camera at least 250 times a day.
Oh, yeah.
Then somebody randomly taking a picture of you.
Oh yeah, no, it's people who don't understand that are just delusional. That if outside your home, you have no expectation of privacy, like none, other than in like private facilities like change rooms and washrooms and stuff like that. There's an expectation of privacy, but outside, out in the open, yeah, there isn't any, and there's no legal reason that you should expect it. It's a little sad, really. So yeah, people just don't get that.
Yeah. Which, speaking of which, I did buy one of these Zeros, from Amazon. I did purchase one for $48.
Okay.
The Arduino Zero. Mm-hmm. Check it out. I did find out why they did come out with that version, because the Arduino Dual, they call it a DUE, DUE. Within the next 2 years, they're not supporting it anymore. Atmel's not supporting it, or nobody's supporting it. That's the reason why they're coming out with this version now, is to replace that.
Well, could be, but
it's less processing power than that one too.
Yeah.
But it's the same amount of memory, RAM, and everything like that as well.
Okay. Well, anyway, we're gonna check those out for sure.
I would definitely gonna check one out to see if it's worth it or not. Because I have pretty much one of every Arduino board. I have clone and the originals too as well, so I have one of each. And my favorites are the Nanos and the Pro Minis myself. So
same here.
So anyway, well, that's about it. Have a good one.
Thank you, sir. Talk to you again. Bye. That was Joseph in the chat. David, absolutely. Give a call in, please. Love to hear from you. See if I can get Skype to comply here. Good stuff. Good chat, guys. Try and stay away from the politics side of things. God, quadcopters and drones. Man, what a hot topic right now. I don't even worry myself with it because I know I fly within the rules and I won't deviate from that. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't get worked up about it. It's kind of funny. While we wait for... David said, scratch that. I can just chat in IRC. Oh, no, he's calling anyway. Good stuff. David, how are you tonight?
I am very good, thank you, Eric. How are you?
I am excellent.
So I wanted to call in. It's about the Internet of Things again. I know everyone keeps bugging you about this.
No worries.
But I've been working on the ESP8266 for a while. And there's something I realized when using other people's libraries and writing code myself. You can only really program your Arduino. Let's say you're using it with an Arduino. You can only really program it to work with your home network or one that you're sort of stationed at. And I think that's quite a big limitation for for any of these kind of Internet of Things devices, because you kind of want to move them around, because that's where it's fun, right?
Yep.
So the ESP8266 can search for Wi-Fi networks, but there's no easy way of picking from those networks. So I've rigged up a little bit of a sketch that pulls out those individual Wi-Fi networks, throws it into an array, a string array, so that you can create your function later on, and it'll be selectable on a little display. So I just wanted to call in and say I'm going to make that code available. I'll put it on GitHub so people can have a look. But it should make it a bit easier to be more mobile with your sort of Wi-Fi enabled devices, because I don't really see anyone with libraries at the moment that are enabling people to connect to other Wi-Fi networks and search for them and things like that. I mean, you do need a display, obviously, but
and
it should make it easier.
Problem. With like, they can do the 8266. It can do I2C, right?
It can, yeah. I'm only ever going to use it with an Arduino because I need more memory available.
Yeah.
So, because you've got all these strings. Let's say you wanted to connect to a Wi-Fi network. You also need to put a password in. So you need all those special characters. Now, you could run through the ASCII table, but I prefer to store the only ones that you need, because otherwise you could throw in a backslash or, I don't know, a speech mark and suddenly mess up all your code.
Yep, for sure. I often wondered about this, David, because all the code, now, mind you, you're way more advanced with the 8266 than me. I haven't played with it at all yet, but all the code and the examples I looked at, you had to hard code your SSID into the sketch. And I'm like, well, what are you going to do if you move? Or even when you change your Wi-Fi network name, if you had a bunch of these devices in your house doing cool things, well, then you got to go around and reflash them all. That's no fun.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought it'd be good to come up with an easier way of changing it on the fly. Let's say I wanted to give away a device, then I'd want them to be able to sync it to their own home network, or be able to go to a public place and do the same thing.
Absolutely. I wonder, can you flip it into like AP mode and have the code so that you can log in with your phone to change the hard code SSID stuff and then kick it back into normal connect mode? That's
quite a good idea, actually. I hadn't even thought about AP mode at all. I haven't used it. But you could certainly, without knowing how to do that, you could certainly do it with a little Bluetooth module attached to send the characters across.
Get out of my brain. But before I was uttering those words, I was going to spit out, throw a Bluetooth module on it. I'm like, wait a minute. This thing is a Bluetooth module except Wi-Fi. Why not just make it? So either way, absolutely. Some way of getting into it. We all have our phone. I think the Bluetooth module, if the AP mode doesn't work, you should be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I started this little ESP adventure because I was going to do that correspondence chess thing, which I know hasn't happened yet.
That's all right. We've got lots of time. I'd say next winter would be better for me.
I've gotten so carried away with expanding this code and making it work for various different scenarios, and it's very stable at the moment, which I haven't experienced with other people's code. I don't know whether it's because I'm doing it with an Uno, so different timings on the processor, all those things come into play, but I've figured it out, so it works well for me. So I will be sharing it with everyone, so if they want to play with it, they can. But again, you don't need all this code to make any of your internet-enabled devices work. You can just use the code that's out there. I'm just doing something that's a bit more, not advanced, but I guess it's modular, because it has so many different functions in there, and it decides things based on switch statements and stuff, so you can choose the choose the program flow. So it should be quite fun. But I just wanted to sort of call in and update you on that little idea that I had to make it mobile, essentially.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I think I haven't seen anything on it. It is something I did notice, because actually the reason I noticed it is because I changed my SSID here, and right away my electric imp, my Budweiser Gold Light, which is actually an electric imp powered, and a bunch of other things stopped working. And those things I had to manually go and reflash. And I thought, geez, what am I going to do if I have a bunch of 8266s running stuff? That'll be annoying. And I think that's a great idea.
Cool. Right. Well, that's all I wanted to call in and say. And I don't want to take up a lot of the time because we're getting to the hour now. So
no worries, David.
I will speak to you later.
Thanks, David. Appreciate the call.
All right. Bye.
Guys, that was David Watts. We are going to close Skype. We are going to close Skype down at this point, guys, as we are at the hour. Appreciate the calls very much, guys. Always a riot. For those of you who don't know, that's David Watts. You can find him in the chat window there. Hover over his name, check out his channel. He does have a bunch of videos on the ESP8266 and related, tons of Arduino related items. Really cool channel. You'll love it. Quickly catch up on the chat before we go, guys. Actually, I might just scroll up a little bit. Let's just see. Leroy had to go. DJ Redder said, Eric, have you found a better deal on other than $11 for 3 Arduino Nanos? No, I'd say that's about the best I've seen. Thereabouts. Zach asks, oh, speaking of IoT, Eric, are you going to the IoT conference May 5th in Mississauga? Nope, didn't even know it was happening. Guys, Mississauga is not that far from me, a few hours. So, no, Zach, I kind of wish I was, but this year is just so busy. I don't even know what's May 5th work out to be on day. Is that that's a Tuesday? Weird. No, I won't be attending that. And some stuff for David. Jim Connor is here. Good stuff. Glitch says 25 watching. Awesome. And David said, Eric, that's a great idea. Might need a bit more memory to store, but I will look into it. Awesome, David. Best of luck with that. Can't wait to see that come about. I'm really partial to this. Guys, if you don't know, the ESP8266 is a dirt cheap Wi-Fi module. One of the big things that Arduino and Raspberry Pi, for that matter, have been missing for so long is integrated Wi-Fi. It's so annoying. There's lots of offshoots out there that do have it, but the ESP8266 for like $2, you can add Wi-Fi to anything. And David's going to take that and push it the next mile and give us some cool code to work with. Very cool. Closing thoughts, guys. This is another video. Check it out. This is not a new video, and is a really long video. Be forewarned. Civilian drone search and rescue. This is an entire video. Definitely, I would say, sponsored, if not expressly made, for Texas EquiSearch, which is a pretty cool organization who does search and rescue stuff for Texas and actually all over the U.S. And I think they even have Canadian chapters too. But they were up against some FAA rules over using their FPV aircraft for search and rescue. And this is a 49-minute video touting the virtues of the things they do and the things they use them for. And why they were kind of ticked off at the FAA. If you kind of skip over the real political parts, there's some really good coverage in here of some successful recoveries, I say. And yeah, there's a lot of good coverage in here, guys. I think you'd like this video. It's a good watch, just to skip over the really political parts. But it's neat. The sheriff gets involved, and he's very he definitely doesn't seem to be an actor. He's very vocal in support of using these FPV aircraft for search and rescue, and I like seeing that. We have an obligation to follow the rules. We also have an obligation to push the rules to adapt to new technology. Otherwise, the rules will always get in our way. This is our job as makers and inventors and the people out there on the cutting edge of things. You need to make your voice heard, because otherwise we just get shut down. People object to change. So yeah, it was a good video, guys. I think you'll enjoy it. And good stuff. I'm gonna one last look at the chat here, guys, and we are going to cut it quits. Jay said, Eric, if you don't know, the SP can now use the Arduino IDE directly. Yes, I did know that, Joseph. You can program it right from the IDE. It's supported. For download when I grabbed it, it wasn't the standard. You had to go to another link to get it. But yeah, I didn't play with it, but I thought it was pretty cool that the IDE supported it directly. Pretty cool stuff. Brandon said, watch that video. Great video. Good stuff, Brandon. I'm glad you liked that one. And yeah, Glitch said he had so many ideas. He's talked to me about it quite a bit. Absolutely, we have. And Brandon said, hey, Zach, I'm from Brantford. May attend. Good stuff. good stuff, Brandon. Brandon and Zach, let me know how that goes. Yeah, I'd like to know how that goes. And Glitch said, it's one of those things. People don't seem to understand the difference between laws and ethics. Sometimes to do ethical things, certain laws and rules need to be broken, or at the very least bent. Yeah, in some cases, for sure. And in the remaining, I think we need to push to alter the rules to suit things when it's in the best interest of the greater good. Obviously, in some cases, we need new rules to prevent more lunacy. But for the most part, stuff like FPV for search and rescue and just being shot down because of the limits. Guys, there's some good stuff in that video about the rescue on Mount Hood. I'm quite familiar with that mountain. I've been up to ski on it, and that's outside of not far from Portland, Oregon. There was a rescue situation up there, and they attended with FPV with drone aircraft, and they weren't allowed to fly until the winds were too high for the standard helicopters to fly, which was like 55 knots, and then they were granted permission, which is just a freaking joke. And it was just a case of just people being foolish. Anyway, that's all I'll say about that. Good stuff, guys. I'm going to call it quits at this. Appreciate all the feedback, guys. Good luck this week. Have a great week. Make something cool. Make sure you share it back. Take something that you made before and make it better. Love to see it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this live broadcast, and I will see you soon. Thanks, guys.